Afternoon, everybody. How we doing? Back again. Glutton for punishment. You lot are gluttons for punishment. Well, got a few in. As I say, what was I going to do today? There was all sorts of things I was going to do today, but I pulled apart a radio yesterday, and I thought I've started it, so I may as well finish it. So that's what I'm doing today. Hopefully. Well, I can't actually because I've got some capacitors short, but there you go. I could have sworn I had all the caps I need for this job, but unless I've got them stashed somewhere and I forgot all about it, I don't seem to have one of the capacitors that I need to finish it today. There you go. Not to worry. So we got Mr. Video Monkey. Graham's in first. Well done, Graham. You got there. Colin's in. Colin, Mac Vision, Simon's World, Benji, Andy Tobin, Dorf, Phil Taylor. I need to change the 6.3 super cap. It's most likely shot in this radio. Well, there he is. Difficult to come by now, and they are really expensive for some reason. I don't know why. This one, I can't remember what the make of these are, but the only place that I can get them really is Mouser. Or Mouser? I'm not sure. Afternoon, Nick. Hi, Barry. Rob Cross, Derek Taffman. Doug's in. Hi, Doug. Cinco de Mayo. What? What's that? What was that, Doug? Sun's out, Benj, is it? Hi, Dave. How are you? Dave Rhodes. I think that's everybody. So yeah, this set actually came in last year, and it's come in. I've got two sets from this chap. It was Mark, I believe. I think it's Mark. And as I say, I try and go through stuff as it comes in order. And I'm a bit backed up. I occasionally have like rush orders come in, stuff that's ordered off my website, or like little fairly straightforward easy fixes, or people from the village just dropping me stuff in to fix. So you know, I do get bogged down sometimes, but I do try and go through them in order. So oh, you got the 6.3 volt one from Mouser USA, Dorf. Yeah, say I've got a few here, but I have got about 5 here somewhere that I've ordered recently. They're here somewhere, but I've not had a chance to put away anything at the moment, so I've got stuff everywhere here. I've just got so many radios in that I'm working on at the moment. I'm juggling about 3 all at the same time at the moment. I've got the Russian Astrad F8 B205. I was just waiting really for the what do you call it? The Danish oil to go off hard on the case before I put it all back together. So that's done. Hi Claudio, how are you? Hi Gavin. Good to hear the Sony's back. Yeah, it's overdue. Now I've got 2 radios for this customer. One is this one, the SW77, great radio, and the other one is a 2001D. Now that one is a little bit poorly, so we'll have a look at that one later. But I'm after 2 things. If anybody's got a spare SW77 or a 2001D or a 2010 Sony, that's the SW2001. Or the SW2010. For the SW77, I need a battery door. The chap that owns this I don't know what's happened, whether he's bought it without the door or what, I don't know, but it definitely hasn't got a battery door with it. And sadly, the 2001D needs an LCD display because it's bled quite badly. And if you look back through my videos for last year, you'll see a video there where I looked at these 2 initially. This one actually worked, but it was making quite a lot of crackling noises, and it was obvious that the caps needed doing, but the customer sent it to me specifically to do the caps, so that's what we're going to do today. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So I think we'll get onto the bench. You can have a look at the board. Now I took this out yesterday. I had Les come down and see me yesterday, and we were just talking old Sony radios, and this is the board from the SW77. And as you can see, it's rammed full of electrolytic SMDs, or SMD electrolytics. Now, I will have a look at some of these on the ESR meter. If I can find the, where's me? Might be able to test them with that one. But unfortunately, some of them are in really, well, I pulled one off already. Incidentally, there's the super cap. That goes in the other board. That's on the LCD board on this one. But yeah, you ought really to change those because they do go bad. I've only ever had one gone bad, to be fair. I've done quite a few of these. I've only had one go bad, but it is good practice to replace that. And the other thing I must do, and you'll have to remind me because I'll probably forget again, is there is an SMD cap in this little can here. So I've got to desolder that to get at that. That's the DC to DC converter in there, I believe. It's shielded because of noise, I take it. Yeah, that's got to come off. Well, it looks like this IC here has been changed at some stage. Yeah, it does look like that one's been changed. Okay, I think that's the audio amp. So yeah, the idea is to take these off and have a look at it. So what I've already pulled one off. And let me just get my multimeter in shot because I tried to test the ESR on this thing and oh god, don't tell me I've lost it. Now here we go. So this is 220 microfarad at 10 volts. It reads absolutely nothing on the ESR meter. I'll shoot myself in the foot now because this will measure perfectly. But say it's supposed to be 220 microfarads. And it's wow, it briefly read 9 nanofarads there. It's 13 nanofarads, look. So that one is absolutely shot. So that was probably the one that was causing the buzzing. And I just literally popped it off yesterday just to demonstrate my technique, really, which is a bit shocking, as I'm sure a lot of you will comment. But let's just have a quick look around the board at some of the other capacitor values. Let's see if this SMD tweezers would be any good. Where's me? I'll tell you what, it's a mess. It's the trouble. The more you do, the messier the bench gets, doesn't it? And I should stop every so often and just get it sorted. Right, okay, so let's have a look at some of these. Now the ones, I know the ones that are issues are these 220 microfarad. If I go down on one of those, so this is a 220 at 4 volts. And that's reading 215, but ESR is 2.2, so it's way too high. And another one, exactly the same, 220. 2.4, not too bad to be fair. Another 220. See, that one's reading 582. It might be in parallel or something, or in series or something, I don't know. So this one's a little 100. Can I get in there? I'll tell you what they could do with making some. Oh, hello. So that one's 581. So I mean, the story goes on. These caps in these, although sometimes they're still working, the radio. That's a 47 microfarad allegedly at 16 volt. 45. The ESR again too high. Another 220. 582. I mean, I'm not going to go over this. Another 47. I'm not going to check them all, but I mean, 5.9 ESR. They're all pretty much shot. Another 47. 47s. I haven't got these smaller value 47s, unfortunately. It means I'm not going to be able to finish this today, but I have ordered them. So yeah, 5 ESR. I don't need to say no more, do I? It needs a recap. It needs a recap. So the idea today is to get these caps off and get them changed ASAP. So I've already done this one. We think the best way to do this, whether to get the overhead camera on it or zoom in with that one. Probably better to zoom in with this one. It's a little bit better picture. So you can see where I pulled that 220 out from. Get medieval. Yeah, people don't like me doing it, but it's going to be done. I am the Ripper. The Crunching Ripper. The Crunching Ripper. Right, let's get the soldering gear on. So this one is a 220 at 10 volts. So I've got all the caps out here in no particular order. So here we go. No, that's not the one. That's the smaller values. Where's my 220s at 10 volts? Don't tell me we haven't got any of those. What's that? 100s. 220, there we go. 220s at 10 volts. Now these are all Panasonic or Rubicon, I think. It's slightly bigger, that one, but it doesn't matter in this circuit. So all I've done, I've twisted this one off and the legs are still remaining on there. So I need to just get the soldering iron and just lift those legs off. I'll have to stick my magnifying head on today, otherwise I won't be able to see nothing. Knackered Jed Boker, hi Jed, how are you? Right, let's just knock these little legs off the board. I'm using this angled tip. I find this angled tip's quite good for these SMD caps because you can get in over the top of stuff. Let's got those. Let's just wick the old solder off. Again, I like to use a tip upside down. Quite nice. Hopefully you can see what I'm up to. So I'm just wicking that off the pads. A little bit of flux. Stick the cap on. Now it's orientated. There's like little chamfered edges. Oh, hello. Steady. This board's a bit wobbly. I should really stick it in my board holder, shouldn't I? I do quite like it down on the desk. That's strange. I had some other tweezers here just now, but they totally disappeared. Oh well. Obviously weren't to be. Yeah, that one is a little bit big, but it should still take. Turn that down a little bit. We don't want 370 degrees. Right. It's only just on the pads, that one. But he's on there. So I'm going to put a bit of my other flux on here, this watery stuff. Just tidy up the solder. There we go. First one done. One down, God knows how many left to do. But yeah, some of these are just ever so slightly too big. But that one's on there okay. So a quick look from the side. Yeah, it's still a little bit blobby, the solder. It's difficult to know how much to put on, really. That might be Mrs. Cruncher back. She's just been down to have her haircut today. Okay, what we've got here, we've got 220 and a 100 at 100 volts. They're very close to each other. You use some standard capacitors for the SW77, much easier soldering. Yeah, at the end of the day, these are renowned for bad caps. So this is the tool for capacitor removal. My old, very old Nipex electrician's sniper nose, and it's a bit medieval, but should we get these off? These are the 470s. Just wiggly, wiggly, wiggly. Well, that one's sort of hanging off. It's fallen off. These actually didn't measure too bad, these bigger ones, but come on. There's always one in there. But at least when you've got one leg hanging on by a thread, it's easier to get him off. Well, that one's come off on his own anyway. Let's lift that one off. There we go. 3 caps off the board. Bob's your uncle, funny's your aunt, and all that sort of business. Ping, ping. So let's get the flux off. Right, car. This crunch has been scalped. There's all the pads ready for new capacitors, if you can see that. So 220s, we need the big boys. 470s. So I'm just going to be pottering around doing this really today on the stream, so I will keep an eye on the chat. Hi Daniel, how are you? So when you say standard caps, I mean, I'm not going to do it with this one, but I am going to try some tantalum caps one day in one of these. I would do it on my own radio, but apparently it's supposed to work very well. Now these do fit the pads quite nicely. They're very slightly bigger. It's strange, isn't it? So we'll start with that one and work our way back. Getting the right way around. Let's get one tacked. I did have a bit of solder here just a minute ago, but it's disappeared into thin air. As per usual. Oh, there it is. So you'd need 3 hands for this, really. That's that side, spin it round. These bigger ones are a lot easier to do, but so that one. And the next, you can see what I'm up to, it's sort of. Nice. Spin it around. See if we can get in here. So this is where the angled tip does help. Gets you into some awkward spots. 2 done. And the last 470. People take these off with hot air, which does work, but the problem is if you've got a leaking cap and you hit it with hot air, they do tend to explode off of the board, which is not great. Good fun to watch, I suppose, but not great if you're actually soldering them. There we go. 4 down. Rob! Thank you, Rob. 4 down, about 18 to go. There's loads of them on here. Okay. So that's all the biggest ones done anyway. Should do the smallest ones first, I suppose, shouldn't I? It doesn't really matter with these boards. So let's have off this 100. and the little 220 beside it. So say, they do come off easy. You just got to be careful. I used to just twist them and twist them and twist them, but the sort of twisting back and forward just weakens the legs and they just drop off. Simples. Let's remove the bits. Smaller ones come off easier than the larger ones. So there's a little bit of, you can see there's a little bit of electrolyte come out from underneath. Plastic connectors, what's, yeah, tell me about it. It's difficult to get to, but they are easy enough. Just got to be careful. Now you've said that, I'll go and burn the plastic connector, won't I? Right, so that was 220 at 4 volts and 100 at 10 volts. 220 at 10. That's a little 220. That way round, just drop him on there. Okay, so this one is particularly awkward because it is right next to the plastic connector, so thanks for reminding me about that. So all we're going to do with this one is hold it with the tweezers. A little bit of solder. I've already fluxed to the capacitor. And yeah, that's one side done. Let's go with the other side. That should be straightforward if I can get in over the top. So again, this angled soldering iron really comes into its own, really. That's that one. That's the 220, and the other one was the 100 at 10 volts. So I thought I had all the caps to do these. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have, but I've just got that 1 or 2 values missing. It does pay to keep them in the bags as well, so you know which voltage they are, because it doesn't say on these what the voltage is, just to be an extra pain in the backside. Let's go in a fraction. Hi Jax, how are you? The meat hot soldering on yours in your area, chat. Oh dear. Yeah. Right. Where's that? What have I done? Ah, there we are. That's my favourite tweezers for these. The old bent ones. Right, so I'll do the same again, I think, with this one. I've already fluxed it, so I'll just get a bit of solder on the end of the iron. to one side. Now this is a tough one to get into, so I'm going to have to probably change tips for this particular one. Let's go with a finer tip. So again, this is a bent tip, but it's a microwave soldering tip. So it's quite fine to get in over the top of that bit of plastic. And you can see how close I am to that plastic there, look. Scarily close. Doing shaky hands for this. Nope, a bit more flux on that, I think. Got it. Yeah, so that's a pretty scary one. It's done. Whew. You couldn't get a 6.8 35 volt. Yeah, I've got some here somewhere. Yeah, 6.8 35 volts. I think these were from Farnell, from memory. But yeah, they're Panasonic, I think. I'm pretty sure they're all Panasonics. They don't have to be Panasonic, obviously, but... Okay. So we've got another 220 at 4 volts. Let's get all the 220s done. I know where I am then. Let's grab that one. Grab them by the ears. Can you see? I really do get told off on my videos for doing this, but you know, end of the day, got to be done on it. That's one. There's another 220 there. Steady. Maybe the pliers are a bit overkill, but the smaller ones I can't sort of get a good grip on. You want a good grip on it, otherwise they slip like I just did there. Another 220 there, and that's covered in all that gunk, look. Waxed right up. And 220, 220, 220. Another one there, look. So quite a few of those. One, two, three, four. Okay. This one is waxed in, that's nice of it. I actually can't remember seeing another one of these boards that's had wax like this on it. It's not going to make it any easier, is it? It's all going to get in the... solder and flux. So I've got to be finished at 5 today because the dogs are going up the woods as soon as I've finished on the live stream. No, not really any corrosion. That's for the cap near the connector, yeah. You can see how close that is. Where is it? That one there is scarily close to that connector. Very, very close. Okay, let's get these pads cleaned up then. Want the other soldering. Want the other tip again now. I'll say this one is a bit fine, really. Could have probably done it with my straight chisel tip, but it is a bit tight to get in there. Right. Just knock these off the board. Be careful of these plastic knobs as well. I'm sure the customer wouldn't be happy with a nice burn mark in his plastic knob. Knock it off. I can smell. Yeah, some of these have leach, you know. No, it's just wick them. Wick them off. So I have tried all the different methods of getting these off of the boards. I've tried them all, and to me this is the only one that seems that you don't actually lift any pads. Heating them up, you tend to put too much heat into them with a soldering iron, trying to get them off the board. Hot air makes them go bang, and then you've got to put Kapton tape on all the plastic, otherwise you're in trouble. Michael, how are you? Okay. Let's do the hardest one first, the one with the lovely wax all over it. Better. Right. Let's get this solder over here. I don't know why I keep it right at the back there. It's damn sight easier to get a bit of solder on the end of the iron. Straight from the holder. Solder from the holder. That's one side. And the other side. Is that one done? It's easy, isn't it? It's easy. It is pretty easy once you've done a few. Next one. Hopefully you can see where I am here. Yeah, you can. Mark a ballot paper with your blood. What are you going on about, Michael? You're an animal. He's an animal, that man. That's the other way around. Ooh, steady. There she blows. Another one. We're steaming through them. We're steaming through them here. So yeah, doggies are going up the woods today. This Cruncher's got a day off, so it's quite nice here. It was pretty blowy yesterday, and the day before was absolutely shocking. Where's my light gone? My light's all the way up there for. No wonder I can't see anything. Okay, and the next. Moved a little bit. Let's have a look, make sure he's still on the pad. Is he on the pad? Yes, he is. There we are. Okay, one more 220 to do, yeah. We're on Poland, are we? That's your fault, Daniel. Oh. We normally deviate onto other items of electrical equipment, but today we're polling. Okay. Good. Try to see which one it is now. It's this one, isn't it? I'm looking at this one thinking that's not very well soldered, but I haven't done that one yet. Dear, oh dear. I'm criticising Sony's work now, huh? Whatever next? Right, so we've got 100 straggler in the middle there to do. That's 100 at 10 volts. So we've done all the 220s, we've done one of the 100s. Oh. Let's get that one off. Let's move the camera over a little bit. What is the date code on the NEC C1316C? It looks like, I'm not sure if it's 85 or 9507. I think it's 9507, Dorf. Let's give it a quick squirt of isopropyl. $96.07. 9607, Dorf. Can't see it any closer than that, can you? Lots of hail. Let's get that monkey in there. This one's looking a little bit corroded. Come on. Cool. He doesn't want to come off that one. Let's just give him a help. One side's off. Give him a little lift. Can I get in there? That's the thing. Can I get in there? Yeah, that one's definitely leaked anyway. Definitely a little bit of corrosion on the foot there. So I think this has been caught literally just in time. I think the owners had this one from new, so quite keen to get it sorted. Future-proofed, I suppose, is the name of the game. Make sure we don't put the old one back on. Now that would be fun, wouldn't it? So where are we? That way round. This one's particularly awkward to get to as well. It's hard to know which one to solder though. Both of them are difficult to get to. Let's do this one first. It's got him caught, but it's going to need a bit more solder in there. So as I say, I've got quite a lot in at the moment. Straight after this one, we're going to be going into another ICF-2001D. I have got another Russian radio to do in between. And not far off now is the Nightmare AOR radio. Yeah, this one is difficult to do. I should have probably done this one before I did that 470. I'm 100% sure we got this one. Yeah, got him. Okay. So what have we got? 100 at 4 volts. Done all of these now in this area, just this one over here, 100 at 4 volts. Now, I think that was one of the ones I was short of. I think there's 100 at 6.3 that will just about go in there. If I can find it. 106.3. Just compare the size on that. It's hiding behind there. Cider! Have I got water today, Graham? Just on the corporation pop today. Thanks, Graham. Much appreciated, mate. Okay, where were we? 100. I just need to make sure this is okay to fit there. Otherwise, I'm going to have to put a hasty order into the supplier because I want to get this done. Yeah, same footprint. I nearly went to lift that off with the... Let's turn it around so you can see which one I'm doing. It's this one up here. Little baby one. I know you went to lift it off with a soldering on him. You probably could on these smaller ones, but... Oh, he was already off. Okay. Yeah, see a bit of corrosion on that as well. Yeah, you can smell when they got corrosion on them. It's like a metallic, fishy smell. Okay. Solder's getting very near the end, but Mr. Spires has very kindly sorted me out some... Okay, that's going to be really difficult to get there because that preset's in the way. So you're going to have to go back to the small tip again. I literally can't get in where that preset is. Can you see? That preset is literally probably 2 mil away from it. Just about get this tip in there, I think. Just chopped on the floor there now, God knows. So these tips haven't got a great thermal mass, so just dwell on a little bit longer to make sure it's gone right in. It seems to have done. Let's give it a little bit of flux just to make 100% sure. Yeah. Fine. Done. So moving along, let's do this one next. 4716 volts. So 47.6s that I haven't got. Or is that 47.6? That looks like 47.6, not 16. Phew. Oh, great. So I've just ordered the caps that I've already got. Okay. So that's 47.6. Where's the 16s then? Or is it the 16s that I haven't got? 220. Let's get that off my head a minute. Oh, it's hot stuff. Wouldn't be fair to moan about my fingers being in the way. Oh dear. But now that's that one done. But you can see how close it is to that preset there, look. Really, really close. Ganesh, how are you? We can try a bit of overhead cam action. That might get you in a different sort of angle. Might be able to see it a bit better. Yeah, that might be a bit better. So you can see the one I've just done there, look. See how close it is to that preset. Literally just get my tweezers in between. That's probably better actually, isn't it? I don't think my hands will be in the way so much then. Whew, I'll tell you what, it's getting a bit warm in here. I shut the window just now because it was cold. Let me see if I've got these 47.16s then. That's a real pain. I'm going to have to order some 47.16s now. Because I think I found my 47.6s. Or 70s. 6.8. 22. 10. 1, 417, 22. Aha. Yes, we might be able to actually get it all done. I think I've got them all. I've got to check in that limit thing, haven't I? Right, so that's my 4716s and my 476s, so I've got enough for those. Let's do me 4716 then over here. Oh, of course I forget I'm under the overhead camera now, aren't I? Which is doing nice things to the light. So I need light to be able to work on the thing, unfortunately. I'm just so selfish, aren't I? So this one's going. We hope. Doesn't want to go, does he? Let's finish him off with a soldering iron. Oh, I've got the wrong tip on again. Wrong tip. It does make a big difference which tip you've got. Close-up cap ripping, look. God. You came with a broken one. You got one of these then, Dwarf, have you? I could pull the dials off, Dork. Apologies, Dwarf. I could have pulled the dials off, but the less you mess about with these old plastic bits, the better, really. Just getting rid of the solder. Bit of flux. And careful, get it the right way around. Well, let's get these horrible goggles back on again. Well, they're not horrible, they're really good actually, but they make my head sweat. And I haven't got any cider left. Just orientate that onto the pads. Now she blows. Soda won't flow on that one for some reason. Check a bit more flux down there. Done. On the other side. At the wrong angle really, I want to be around here. If you'll be able to see it then. Which one am I doing? I'm doing that one. Yeah, you can. There she blows. Yeah, apologies. Apologies, dwarf. Okay, so there's a good number done now. All of these are done. So moving over this way, so I think we'll go down now to these little baby ones down here. Baby Ripowskis. So these are both 1 microfarad at 50 volts. So let's get those off. And these are the ones you can cut off with side cutters, really. It works quite well on these smaller ones. One. Two. 1, 2, buckle my shoot. I take it we're all focused, aren't we? So you've got Mr. Coulson to blame for this, because he's the one that's demonstrated this technique at first. Well, first that I saw anyway. There may have been others that do it, but okay. 1 UF at 50 volts. We'd like an SW100. Don't think I've done an SW100 yet, to be honest, Dwarf. This one won't come out of the flipping SMD package. That's probably why I haven't used this one. It's all alone on its own. The lonely cap. He's coming out though. It's one. Got to remind me to do that DC-DC converter. Right. Flux. I'm not sticking a massive amount of flux on here. Right, it's quite difficult to see sometimes with the, where am I? With the flux in the way. There he is. Let's tack the other one in while we're there. In there side by side. Whee! Let's put the soldering iron down. There we go. Around 360. Right, rod's in the way a little bit there. Got him there. Done. This one next. What's that one? That's a 22 at 6 volts, baby one. One of those. Right. Ripper. Oh, you had to repair a couple of traces, Dwarf, did you? Not had to do that on one of these boards yet. Quite lucky, really. How did you get your caps off then, Dwarf? What method did you use? Did you go for the old twisty or did you use a different method? So we're cracking on. £4. It's not going quite as fast as I was thinking, but I'm not doing too bad. I'm over halfway through the board now. There's a lot of messing about in it, getting them lined up. Do need a very steady hand to do this. So if only you got the shakes, you ain't going to do it, unfortunately. He says moving that at the last minute. Okay, that was not going very well. Let's just get a bit of flux in there. Got it. There we go. The problem was it's really close to these to get the angle in with the iron, really. Done. Okay, next up we've got a 6.8 at 35 volts, another little tiny one. Mm, 6.8, so that's these little ones here. I actually had to send these back because they came without the little, well, I think there was 3 of the caps in it, didn't have the little plastic covers on the bottom of them. So I sent them back, and Farno gave me, well, I didn't send it back, I rung them up and they just sent me another load. God, my hands must be getting weak. Careful. He's gone anyway, just hanging on by one. I think that's got a bit of corrosion on that leg actually. You don't want to come off that one. He's going to get the old choppy chop then, isn't he? Choppy chop, gone. I'm done with getting him a bit closer to the base there actually. Yeah, I think this one's corroded. Cool. Yes. Yes, he was. Where are we? There. So I've got the old side cutters on that one because he just did not want to come off. Did not want to play. Well, that was the side cutter method, if anyone was wondering. So that 6.8 was knackered. Properly knackered. New one going on, so that way round. You used 2 irons, did you? Okay. It's quite difficult to get into this one. Got him. Do this side again and get a lot of solder on there. You don't need a lot of solder on these really. I probably could use the smaller solder for that. I've got some very fine solder there, I think at 0.3 or something like that. I don't know. Okay, and we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and whatever's underneath that can, so possibly 6 left to do. Next is 47 at 6 volts. I had those here somewhere, didn't I? Yeah, there we go. In fact, both of these are 47 at 6 volts. So I'm going to get both of those off. Oops. Can you see a bit better now? Now it's on the overhead camera. There's a little metal shaving by L301. L302. I can't see where you are, Doug. Where's L301? I can't see L301, Doug. Yeah, I think the owner is really, really lucky here because there is a bit of corrosion just starting to leak. Well, a bit of electrolyte just started to leak out the bottom of these. John, how are you? John Cunningham. You have a realistic TRC 207. Any ideas work? Yeah, good luck finding schematics there, Graham. I struggled. Well, I couldn't find a schematic for that the X360. Doug might know. Doug was very helpful with the realistic. I must get that off actually. I did send Brian a message. I've not heard back from Brian. I know he was on about a house move, so whether he's tied up in that at the moment, but his radio's all done. I say all done, I just need a little bit of foam. Come on, don't be awkward. I'm in the middle of Chris's latest video at the moment, all the gear, no idea. That one. smelly. And the last one's up here, or the last 47. I'm annoyed that I've gone and ordered those and I had them all along. I thought I did, but I had these in the wrong packet. I had these in the 10 volt packet, and these are the smaller ones. Come back. Right. Done. Next up, got to be this one here, 100 volts, 100 volts, 100 microfarads at 4 volts. No, I think we had 100 microfarads at a bigger voltage than that, didn't we? 6.3, I think, wasn't it? One, that's rubbish. 2. Go on. Pardon me. There we go. 100 at 6.3. So I'm sure they won't matter too much if we've gone up a little bit in voltage. John, yeah, you've got one of these as well. I've only had one of these that I couldn't fix, and it was in. The guy sent it to me for a recap, so I recapped it. It wasn't working before I recapped it, and it wasn't working after I recapped it. But I did go through it, spent a bit of time trying to find out what was wrong with it. I thought it's getting a bit silly time-wise, so I had to knock it on the head in the end, but I just couldn't find out what was wrong with it. Of course, it could have been the big Sony chip in it. And I still haven't heard anything from Texan, so if anybody knows anybody in Texan, they're a bit naughty. They haven't replied to my inquiry, so I'm going to send them a chasing one. But it seems that I've got to try the supercap in it. It's almost as if they don't really want you to fix the radio, they want you to buy a new one. But when it's still a current radio, you can still buy it. What's going on with this? Dogs are starting to play mummy up. They want to go out. Looks like he's stuck. We'll just give him a little bit more just to make doubly sure. Yeah. Okay, another 100 at 4. So another one of these. Another one in Wax City. And Les was saying this wax can be a bit of a pain as well. It can attract moisture and particles and become conductive. Is it therapeutic watching people recap and stuff? I find it quite therapeutic. You know, I get a bit disappointed when I'm watching a video and people say, I'm just going to recap this, join me and it'll be done. I want to see the recapping, really. I'd like to see the recapping. Just going to give that a little bit more. There we go. And what have we got left there? 22 at 6 volts. It's one of those. Another waxathon. I was just going to say, I need to be careful, I don't want to whack this crystal. Quite relaxing to watch me work. Hopefully it doesn't put you to sleep though, Nick. I don't know, I quite like watching people recapping stuff. Some people may well find it very boring, but apologies if that's the case, but this is what's got to be done. I mean, end of the day, this radio's got to be fixed. And you're joining me in my working day, really. I do deviate, obviously, as you know, and play about with some of my own stuff at times, but really on a Wednesday I ought to be doing customer repairs. Different if we've got something in for review or like messing about with the batteries and that's of interest, isn't it? Right, let's get those off. Right. That side's a bit close to the cap, isn't it? Cap? Cap? Where's a goat? Crystal. Oh, that's moved over a little bit. Moved again. Come on. It's typical, isn't it? The last one decides it wants to play silly buggers. Right. That's all the caps on the board done, but we've got the secret locker. 20 minutes to get the secret locker open and to find out what beholds us. Let's bump the temperature up a little bit on the iron. It's got to 370. Let's get some soda wick. Let's get a bit thicker piece. Let's get this box opened up. I need to put a bigger tip on for this, really. Let's get the biggie. Let's get the monster tip on. Let's get the monster tip on for this. So this is one of these high thermal mass tips. It's quite large compared to the other ones. So it should have no trouble dealing with that. I've got to remember how these come open now. I think they've got a little lid on this side. Yeah, they got a little lid. Little lid. Alright, let's go ambidextrous now. Ah dear, do we use the board as a... Do Use a soldering iron as a prying tool. Misuse of tools and all that. I got these up a lot easier before. Problem is that they've not only soldered it to the board, they've actually soldered the can to itself as well. They've really done a number on this one though. This is something to push against. I don't want to break the ferrite. No solder sucker machine. It doesn't really work very well with these little cans, Graham. I've got it here, yeah, but oh, I see, there's another blimmin' bit there, look. Sneaky. That's why I couldn't get that corner up. Right. Let's open the box, which is going to be quite hot now. A hot box. There he is. What have we got? We've got a 22 at 6 volts. Have we got any more of those left? Oh, don't tell me I haven't got any more of those left. I bet I ain't got any more. 470. 220, 100. Let's get me little bot stashed down again. Looks like I've used all of those, but I'm sure I've got some more. 10. There we go. Yes, I have. It's a bit of luck, so I can actually finish the board. 10 minutes to go. George, how are you? Still going strong? Oh, it's a beauty, isn't he? Yeah, that was a nice radio. I was only talking about that radio yesterday, George. Georgie, your ears must have been burning. I'm just showing Les some of the Sony radios I've got here. Some I got in for repair. I'm just saying that was a lovely little radio, but what a pig it was to work on. It wasn't a pig to work on, it was just the fact that the capacitors had really long gone, hadn't they? Come on, there we go, thank you. Right, last one then. Oh, I've got a massive tip on them. That was a bit of a shock. See, this is the DC to DC converter in here. Okay. Yeah, let's say those SW55. I've not had one that bad leakage from surface mount caps before. That was the worst one I've seen. It was a bit touch and go whether that one could actually be repaired, Georgie, but did do it. And that was a bit of a labour of love, that one. Had a couple ICs to change as well, didn't we? Right, let's turn that down a little bit. That side. That side. I do tend to put a little bit too much solder on these, really, I suppose, but I don't know, I just like to see a nice blob of solder on the end. No, it's definitely gone up through then. There we go. Done. So I'm going to give that a little squirt of isopropyl. Let's give it a quick brush over. Billboard penguin. You don't think anyone ever envisaged anyone restoring? They probably didn't, but the trouble is that they've got a cult following, these Sony radios, haven't they? And I mean, to be fair, they are really, really good radios. So I can see why people get all nostalgic about them and want to keep them going. Yeah, I can see that. Double 100% check it's the right way around. Yes, he is, and he's all on the board. Yeah. Let's put that cam back on. Sort of wrong side. Right, solder that one back on. Pop the iron up a bit. Should be able to solder them back on with this. Benji's there. I think he's... I'm not sure about the perm. No, let's stick a bigger soldering iron tip in, just to make 100% sure that we've got we've got that soldered nicely in the join. Oh, damn. Oh, we can stay there for a minute. And just solder the cam closed. Job done. 3 minutes to go. How about that for timing? So yeah, off up to the woods now with the doggies. And I shall see you guys again, guys and girls, on Sunday. What I'm going to do yet, I do not know, but I will do something, I'm sure. There we are, one recapped. Whew. SW77 board sorted. Benji's not finding it funny anymore. Don't upset Benji. Can't upset our Benji. There you are, people. Done. To be honest, these SW77s, if you go on eBay and have a look at the price of them, they're still fetching 300 quid for a good one. And there's very few of them that have been recapped. So, you know, if you buy one for 300 quid, you're still going to probably have to spend another 100 quid to get the thing recapped. So it's something you need to bear in mind if you're buying one of these. So there you are, people, all done. And thanks very much for the super chats today. Again, it's not letting me see the super chats at the moment, is it today? Will it let me see them today? No. Oh, Video Monkey, it's shown me. I think it was Rob as well, wasn't it? I've got the cider one. There was one more there. I think it was Rob Cross. But, I will get some cider. Oh dear. So that's all for today, people. Hope you've enjoyed that. It's a little bit sort of a working video as such, rather than a looking at something. I'll try to get my screen back now. There we are. I'm back. More of a working video today, so hope you've enjoyed that. Only a short one today, because I say I have got to get out with the dogs, and I did promise Mrs. Cruncher I'd finish at 5, and it's 1 minute past. So cheers, everybody, and I'll see you on Sunday. Bye for now.